Can you go a bit back when your first memory with football started?
It started in my back garden with my grandpa and grandma just kicking it around and running around a lot and just always keeping a ball with me. Then
Nice.
just went on from there.
And when was it for you where it gets more competitive?
Uh, when I moved back to Iceland from Sweden around 12 years old, that's when I noticed because there were really good football players here in Iceland at my club, and I was like, this is kind of different from what I was used to. So that's when I saw yeah, I need to really step into the next gear.
Mm. And can you give us a bit insight about when you discovered, okay, now I have to double down on it? Which kind of things you do more? Would you go so like more discipline, more work ethic?
It basically just be, spend more time practicing after practice or before. And I was really lucky with the guys who were at the club. They would also work a lot extra. So we'd usually play small-sided games for 30 minutes up to 90 after practice sometimes and just consistently did that for many years. So, and then when I got a bit older, I tried to go to a gym before trainings as well.
Mm,
So just
amazing.
putting in a little extra every day.
Mm. And when was like for you where you discovered, okay, I want to take it from a player also into coaching?
It started first just because I wanted to have a little work to get some money. And then when I tore my ACL, I really got into coaching and that really kicked it off. And now I really enjoy coaching. Yeah, so kind of because of my injury, it opened, another window and created a chance for me to coach.
Mm. You mentioned your injury right now. Can you give us a bit more deep insights? How was your feeling at this moment having this injury and which kind of mental challenges or struggles you faced with this injury?
Yeah, so I tore my ACL in 2022. And at first, the doctor said it was just a small injury. So I was like, yeah, it's only 2, 3 months, and I've come back in January or something for the pre-season in Iceland. And I was fine with that. But then when I heard it was the ACL, it was kind of a shock. And I was like, went really deep down and struggled a lot. But my family and friends really helped me get my head up straight again and just keep on working and focusing on things that made me happy and not just, oh, I'm injured, I can't do anything.
Hmm. For example, let's say we let's go a bit practical. Let's say there's a young player, he's facing right now the same injury as you faced, right? And he's like in the first beginning. Which kind of advice would you give him to get back on the track?
Just be open to speak with friends or family or even a coach. Just get the thinking you're thinking, just get it out of your head and clear the space a little. Not just overthink and like, I can't share anything, no one will understand because there are people that are willing to help and it will help a lot just if you are ready to speak about it. At least for me, it worked really well as soon as I spoke up loud and spoke to people about my injury and how I was feeling and stuff like that. So yeah, just be open up and try to find something positive or set small goals that you can achieve. So you break down a little, not just, oh, it's 12 months. Now it's just in 2 weeks, I'm gonna accomplish this or 1 month or something like that. So
Mm. Okay, when I understood right, like having more space and opening more up to talking with people about the overthinking process and also just setting smaller step goals to get through the process, right?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. That helped me a lot as soon as I began doing that. So yeah, I would recommend that to everyone.
Mm. And then it was for you the moment where you transitioned to the coaching. Like how was like when was it for you where you say, oh, that's nice. Like not being on the pitch, being maybe outside of the pitch and yeah, which kind of moment was it?
Um, I was really lucky with the coaches I had at the under 19s at my club, and they took me straight in and maybe like work with the under 19s just also to be able to speak with them and get myself out of the house. And that's when it sort of clicked, like when we started winning games. And you get the adrenaline rush as soon as the game starts, and it's even higher when you're coaching and not playing. So yeah. So I'd say thanks to them, I really started getting into coaches, and then they also gave me a lot of freedom, even though I was young and hadn't coached much. Like I could set up some practices, and they asked me a lot how I would like it, and so yeah, they influenced my career as a coach and really gave it a head start. So
Mm. What would you say, like during your time where you played, which kind of mistakes you saw from different coaches, and then you implement the better version of yourself as you coached?
that's a good question. There are many different, approaches to how you want to play football, and some wants to lie deep and kick it long and run, and while others like to like almost ban kicking it long, especially in the youth. So it's like getting the mix in both, and then also like try to focus in the youth just on the individuals, try to make every individual better. So get them a lot of touches and put them into different situations in games and practice that like they aren't used to, and see how they react, and just try to force mistakes so they learn, not just so they can play it simple and doesn't grow. Just try to make every player grow as much as possible.
That's powerful. I had like a call with a player 2 days ago, and he was talking about that one coach of him, he was hating when the players did mistakes. And he was like, he goes into avoiding, and he never had the possibility to grow because he never did mistakes because he was so feared. How is your approach? Because you're coaching U8 and U10 and also assistant coach at U19. Do you have different approaches because kids you have to tackle them different? And how is your approach there?
Yeah, yeah, there's different approach in the under 8 and under 10s and then under 19s, but in the under 8s and 10 it's just have fun, be creative, and don't think about the results. Just try to score as many as you can, and try to rainbow flick or do some scissors, or just have fun and enjoy it, and getting them to put in the mindset like we have to defend as a team, and maybe if you pass here and run here, or just give them the opportunity to somewhat read the game and learn for themselves, instead of just like I'm playing with PlayStation and controlling everything. So just give them a lot of freedom, and don't really have any tactics with them. Uh, just go out and enjoy it. And then with the under 19s, it's a bit more tactics. We want some players to fill the spaces, and defensively how we want to press and stuff like that. But it's still, be willing to take risk, be willing to put yourself into hard position, because in the end of the day, there's nothing bad that happens if you lose a youth game, unless you're just not willing to take risks, or not willing to improve your players because you want to win. Because my head coach at under 19 now, which I'm assisting, just says it doesn't really matter how it goes as long as the players are improving and as many as possible can go to a men's team or abroad or something. So that really changed how I saw things at the under 19 level.
Interesting. Yeah, as you mentioned it, like making mistakes is so important because I have some friends, they are scouts, and I asked them like, what is for you important? And they almost everybody was saying like attitude. How is the player reacting after a mistake? It doesn't matter mistakes you will do all the time, but how you are reacting. And can you give us a bit insights, for example, let's say in youth or also in U19, how do you help players they are struggling react after mistakes and you see it?
Yeah. So the coach now just tells them, don't moan. If someone is moaning, it will be me. You just don't moan at each other because no one's messy. Everyone does mistakes. Just run and get the ball back. And try to implement that at the under 8 and under 10 level as well. If you want to make a trick and fail, you don't want everyone screaming at you, what are you doing and stuff. So why should you be screaming at them when they make a mistake? Everyone wants to be able to play freely, and then we can't have everyone killing each other down. So
Mm. What would you say, which kind of mental struggles are common for kids?
it's definitely the force of being scared of making mistakes and taking the game result-wise too seriously. Um, like, oh, I'm a defender, I can't, I must kick it long. Or I'm a striker and I miss a chance and I'm shit. So, it's just different, the difficulty to just continue and forgetting the last mistake you make.
Mm. And in the U19, is it the same?
It's a bit different. It's like they're more mature in the youth, but you still see like obviously everyone wants to win the game, but sometimes in important games they like get a bit stiff and or or scared to make passes they make in less big games or a little bit
Mm,
smaller games. So it's just try getting them to try and treat every game like the same and just be yourself and play because you're good enough.
mm. Like, as I know, like your work philosophy is built on discipline and growth. How does it come? Like, who was your mentor back then that you developed this kind of mentality?
It was pretty much my mom and dad with how they gave me a lot of freedom and stuff. But as soon as I, had a difficult time and wanted to leave or something, they just said, no, you need to give it 1 year at least. Just be there early and go late, and we will help you, but you can't leave with the first difficult moment. And that really helped me in the long run. So I'm thankful for that.
Mm. How important would you say is self-belief in football?
It's everything. We hear stories all the time that like players just get all the way because they believe they are the best in the world. And I like to take Zlatan, for example. His self-belief is just out of the world. And I'm not saying he was a bad player, but his self-belief took him to the highest level.
How was self-belief like during your time also important for you?
It's really important because you need to believe in yourself that you're good enough and you're able to play. And the coaches don't put you in if you aren't good enough. So just believe in yourself and try to be yourself as much as you can.
Mm. That's also very interesting because like every time when I coach players, we like when they play as they play free. And that's the best version of themselves when they don't try to be somebody else. And but it's sometimes so hard to playing as you are. How do you approach, for example, players where you can see, okay, this guy is trying to something that he's not? How do you help your players?
Uh, I just take him to speak with him individually and tell him, don't try to fit in. Just you aren't selected to try and fit in. You're selected because of who you are and how you play normally. So don't change yourself and get lost in your head or something. Just try to relax and bring your confidence up and show us your skills and be yourself. That's why we chose you to play and not someone else.
Mm. What would you say, how important was discipline during your time as a player and also as a coach?
Discipline means everything because I was not the most skillful player, so I had to show up early and get in the extra percentages like in the gym before training or some passes after training and just try to get a little advantage when someone went home or came late. I was there. So yeah, it means I mean it's always spoken about the 10,000 hours. So every half an hour or an hour you can get extra in, it's a step closer to that goal. And then as a coach as well, the players feel if you aren't disciplined enough and you haven't set up the training before you're coming late and you don't get good feedbacks from the players. So it means it means everything, especially as a coach. You can't have success if you aren't disciplined enough, in my
Mm,
opinion.
that's a good point. What would you say, how important is mental training and also at which age you would consider to try start mental training?
Mental training is really helpful, and I've got some as well, but I was got some late. But about what age, I feel like it's um not the same for everyone. Like some children are just trying to fit in at the age of 6 years old and aren't themselves. Then you have some who need maybe at 15, they need some mental training. So it's different for everyone, but I would like to introduce it at an early age so everyone knows, where to get it or how they can do it and why they should do it.
Mm. What would you say, like during your experience as a coach and also studying in this field, like is a mental training a leverage effect? Because I see so many teams they don't have it on their radar, like that you have to train also mentally. And why is it like this?
Um, yeah, I think it's not in every program because it's kind of new, especially in Iceland. It isn't very popular and hasn't been along for a long time, but you see the big clubs here are getting it in now and trying different methods to have someone that can help, especially the younger players with the mental training. And I feel like it's growing each year, but yeah, it's kind of just because it's new that I believe it isn't in every program and stuff like that.
Mm. Do you also, in your coaching experience, train the kids on the mental part?
I try to do it like without making them think it is a mental part. Like I try to make them do many mistakes in trainings, especially the under eights and under tens. Just I'm telling them almost every training, I want you to do mistakes and I want you to grow from them. So it's like hidden mental training. Like I'm doing mistakes over and over again, but the coach is happy, so I can make them. As soon as I try to learn from him, I'm okay to make the mistakes. So just try to get the fear out and somewhat mental training, but not really, mental.
Mm. Like you tried playful with the kids without calling it this. Yeah, very good. What would you say, what is your future legacy? Like in which direction are you seeing yourself for the future?
I want to stay in the youth football, and just want to make a living out of it. And if I can go abroad and see the world while I'm coaching young players and help them grow, would be the dream. So yeah, just keep on coaching in the youth and hopefully get abroad and see the world as well.
Amazing. Thank you for your time and also thank you for your knowledge. I know you're doing a service and building the youth. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thanks for letting me speak and thank you.